Okay, so we're going to look at the IFRS questions. These are available in PowerPoints that I put in doc sharing also, so you can find them there. The IFRS questions were asked of us, but they didn't give us the help for the IFRS questions that they did in previous units. So what I did was I've redone these problems, and I just changed some of the names and numbers so that you could see an example and then rework them with the names and the real information when you get into the Wiley Plus homework. Alright, so ABC owns a trade name that was purchased in an acquisition. The trade name has a book value of $1.8 million, but according to IFRS, it's assessed for impairment on an annual basis. To perform this impairment test, they must estimate the fair value of the trade name. Okay. Has developed the following cash flow estimates related to the trade name. Okay, so the probability of the trade name having the following cash flows: 200,000 would be 10%, 305,000 20%, and 405,000 30%. The discount rate is 6%. What is the fair value of the trade name? Okay, so let's look at the next. What we need to do first is get the expected cash flows from this trade name. So we use the probability assessments multiplied by the estimated cash flows to come up with the amounts. Add those three up. You see I have an extra zero there, don't just ignore that. You add those three up, and we see that this trade name is going to probably be worth $202,500, right? Based on the estimates we have. Times the factor. Okay, so we need to know this because that's going to be in the future, right? 7 years. That's how much it's worth. So we need to figure out what is worth the current value. So the present value factor based on 7 years, 6% discount rate, is using the present value table 6-4 is 5.58238, present value of a single sum. And you see the stuff's a little bit out of alignment, but that's okay. So 202,500 times 5.58238 equals a present value of 1,138,431. So that's helping us to determine how we're going to impair this from a book value of 1.8 million to what? Well, that's the present value, 1,130,000 basically. All right, let's go to IFRS question 2. Okay, so we have a warranty on some of the products that we sell. So 4,000 units were sold. 5% had to be repaired. Of the 5%, half required a full replacement cost, and the other 5%, the other half of it was just the repair cost of $300. If we have to replace it, it's $2,000. If we just repair it, it's $300. So what is the value of this warranty? Well, you can see here the first section, right? The 4,000 units at 5%, and half of them, that's why we multiply it by 50%, are going to need a full replacement cost of $2,000. So 4,000 times basically 2.5%, right? Because half of 5% is 2.5%, times the $2,000 cost. It's going to give us the $200,000. The other half, the other 2.5%, it's going to be $300. So that's going to give us 30,000. So 200,000 plus 30,000 equals 230,000. All right, looking at question 3. The company leased an office for 5 years. All right, so let me start from the beginning. ABC company leased an office for 5 years. They were expecting to well, when things got tough, they said they wanted to sublease the office and get out from under it, the payments, but they couldn't do it. No, the landlord said, "Sorry, you're stuck." So the payments are $9,000 a year, and there are 4 years left. There's a 6% bank financing, and then there's a 4% risk-free rate of government bonds of 4%. So they're just kind of throwing you a curveball and say which one do you use there. So what is the provision for the lease? What do we owe? What is the present value of these payments? So we have 9,000 is the present value. The present value of an ordinary annuity, right, which would be using table 6-4 with 4 years and 6%. We're going to use this higher interest rate, which is going to be more conservative. And we get 9,000 times, using table 6-4, 3.46511. So the provision for this lease would be 31,185. Luckily, question 4 is pretty much the same question. 6-year contract. They have 5 years left. They're stuck with the contract. 9%, 5%. Again, we're going to go with the more conservative 9% using table 6-4. You get 3.88965. So you're doing the same question with different numbers again. All right, in question 5, we have a technology company that's using property. And the property is leased for 12 years, but they can lease for 8 more, so for a total of 20 years if they want to. So they're going to either lease this property for 12 years or 8 years, or 20 years. While they're using the property, they're going to need to clean it up before they give it back, right? There's an environmental cleanup fee to get the property back to its original state. So if the lease has a renewal option, okay, the cleanup will be done at the end of the renewal period. It's going to cost $200,000. If they wait for the 20 years, it's going to be $400,000 at the end of 20 years. So it's either $200,000 or $400,000. So they're trying to figure out what to use for the cost of this cleanup. So $200,000 would be if they don't renew. There's a 60% chance that they won't renew. So $200,000 times 60%. Now we're going to use table 6-2, which is, a present value of a single sum, right? Present value of a single sum of $200,000. N is equal to 12, right? Because that's 12 years. And then the interest rate we're going to use is 5%. That's the only one we're given. So if we did 200,000 times 60% times the present value rate of 5.55684, we get 66,820. But there's a 40% chance we will renew. So 40% chance times the 400,000, which is the cost if we do renew to clean it up. We need to get the present value of that. So now we still use the 5%, but now it's N is equal to 20 because it's 20 years down the line. So that would give us a present value factor of 3.37689. So 40% times 400,000 times the present value factor, and we get 60,302.40. Add those two up, and we get the total provision for the cleanup cost of $127,123.20. And that's all of the questions we have.